Hello everyone, how are you? In a small forgotten town, there was a man who could fix anything except his own past. He was known as the Watchmaker. People said his hands were so sturdy that time itself seemed to post when he worked, but on rainy evening a stranger entered his shop with a broken watch. In the watch carried a secret that would change everything he believed about time and about life. Part 1. The Watchmaker Who Never Smiled. Elias Turner has been a watchmaker for 50 years. Every morning he opened his tiny wooden shop, would the clock cleaned three glass face, and watched the second ticks by a private rioted, but Elias never smiled. He lived alone, spoke little, and never took off the old watch on his left hand, a watch that had stopped taking 20 years again. Who cornest customer asked why his didn't fix it. He would quality save something around meant to start again. No one can know what he meant, but the watch was the only trust in the world he refused to report her. Part 2. The Stronger Watch. 2:30 40:00 on stormily everything when the town was already asleep. The shop bell rang. A tall man in a drug coat entered. His easy wear trader, his voice gently, his placing an old pocket watch on the counter and said, "It don't tick anymore. Can you fix it?" Elias took the watch, opened it back, and froze. Inside the lid was a photo of a young couple smiling under a cordy tree, and next to them a small boy, barely 6 years old. The man which paper. "This my father. He did before I was born. This watch was his, my mother's side. It stopped the moment he took his last breath." Elias' hands trembled. He could explain away, but his hand started pounding like the watch was calling to him. He nodded slowly. "Leave it with me. Come back in 3 days." Part 3. Fixing the past. For the next 3 nights, Elias didn't sleep. He opened the grates, polished every spring, replaced every one crow, but still the watch refused to tick. Finally, he noticed something strong inside on the smallest grains had been hands, embedded with initials and his own initials. He blinked, convinced he had made tons of watches in his youth, but could this be one of his? He ran to his old recorder, dusty notebook, strongly no the slipped, and it was a note from 1973. Customer order for jam Carter wedding gift, engaged by it James Carter. That was his best friend, the man he had spoken the in detached, the same man he had on betrothed, but for the memory he called a scrap. 50 years again, also, and Jem were inseparably. They built, watched together, romanced together, and loved the same woman, Erna. Erna culture, Jam else never forgivably him on this wedding day, else lived too, and never saw them again. He spent your building. What state, what time, stupid for him. That day Anna lived. Now holding Jomas Bracken watched, he felt the weight of everything he'd borrowed, the journalist, the anger, the rejoiced. He Watchmaker. So this is what time does it, blowing everything back when young, ready to listen. Part 5. The watch ticked again. With trembling hands, Ernst took his tools again. He reported the lost seaweed on the cave, and suddenly, tick, 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 the watch started breathing again. At the next moment, the clock in his shop struck midnight. Els smiled for the first time in 20 years. The next morning, when the stronger returned, Els haunted him. The watch guarantee. It's fixed, he sighed safety. But you should canon. Your father was a good man. The young man looked surprised. You canon him, Els nodded. We are on, brother, in time. Part 6. The ending message. That night, Els sat in his chair, watching the ticket watch beside him. He Watchmaker. I could fix the past, but I fixed what was left of it. The next morning, the village found the shop door open, the clock ticking in perfect harmony, and Elias Turner forcefully gone. The Bracken watch still in his hand, now beating stronger than ever. On the continuous small note, forgivably before time runs out, because no one can repair the second that never come back. Voice as music, direction, skin emission, background.